So when we think about our job, right, our job is to advance humanity by solving the world's hardest problems. That's our mission. Underneath that, what we talk about is that we need to find great entrepreneurs wherever they exist, anywhere in the world, and support them at every stage. Early stage, growth stages, and in the public markets. And within early, all we've ever done historically is high-touch venture investing, a very traditional approach. And that has been unbelievably successful for us. And so we still really believe in that model. But we've started to ask the question, well, what about if an entrepreneur can't actually get to the United States? Or what about if they're in Ohio and not in San Francisco or New York? How do they get in front of us in a more reliable way? And so the answer for us was, well, we need to be open for business. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so we built Capital as a Service as a way to complement our high-touch venture investing business. So the majority of the capital is still allocated in this extremely high-touch way where we deal with really great entrepreneurs that we know and we get to know quite closely. But along the way, we're trying to build a funnel. And in that funnel, anybody can get money now wherever you are. If you have a business and it's producing any kind of data that you believe shows how well it's doing, we can take it, we can process it, and we make a decision in a very short order of time. Think about it as no different than applying for a credit card. What's interesting about ICOs is that they show that there's a real demand for a broad distributed class of investor to get access to interesting assets. The problem is that the ICO market is really poorly understood. It's completely unregulated, and I think right now, for the most part, the overwhelming majority, probably 99.9% of these ICOs are fraudulent. And I think they're confusing assets and securities law, and I think that what's going to happen is you're going to go through a great unwind. But in that, if you can find the one or two that are legitimate, it probably is a really interesting product and company in the making. But for the most part, ICOs are a massive, massive bubble. So I think venture capital can really be broken down into two different ways of doing their job. On the one hand, you have this approach which says, let's have a loose affiliation of partners, each of them extremely well-credentialed, thoughtful, all of them coming to the market with a very specific view about the future with deep credibility. And the masterclass organization that fits that box is Benchmark, and I don't think they have a peer in any way, shape, or form. They are the single best organization. If you're trying to build a social network, or if you're trying to build a marketplace-like business, or a gaming business, or an enterprise software business, they each have in their partnership probably what is the #1 or #2 best person singularly to help you think through those problems. But then there's a different approach, and that different approach is what we talk about, which is that once one invests in any company, there are really meaningful, yet very tactical, operational details and thoughtfulness that needs to exist to get you through execution to product market fit, and then to scale, and then to success. And that is a lot of the infrastructure my team and I helped build at Facebook, and what we have now rebuilt for many other companies who choose to work with us.